Have you ever wondered how the world would turn out if there were no existing media like the ones we use today? Could our society and culture be as rich and diverse as we are now? Or could these existing trends and fads be known and present in today's generation without the help of media? Hi, I am Lorraine Molina, and today we will dwell on the topic of global media culture. And along the way, we will figure out the significance of this concept and idea in developing the global society and the spread of multiculturalism through the various forms of media. Before we jump into the main topic, let's first break down every detail of the components of global media culture. First we have the globalization. We are very familiar with this phenomenon, but what does it really mean? How does it really affect us as citizens of our society? And what is the significance of this in the global development? So, globalization is used to describe as the changes in our society and how trade and technology have made the world and the people more globally connected with each other. This is the result of what we call free trade and the increase in cultural exchange around the world. In addition, this is also the spread of the flow of financial products, goods, technology, information, and even culture across national borders worldwide. Various words can relate to globalization, like exchange, interconnectedness, global interaction, mutual connection, and integration between nations. So basically, globalization affects many aspects of us, whether it is socially, culturally, politically, or even economically. And the second component is the culture. Culture is the existing norms, beliefs, values, traditions, and even material traits of a racial, religious, or social group. This is the characteristic feature of everyday existence that is present and shared by people in a place or time. And the third and the last component is the media. Media, the plural form of medium, refers to the communication channels through which we disseminate news, movies, music, educational information, promotions, and other data possible. It describes the various ways through which we communicate in society. And this also refers to all means of communication, which includes the physical materials present in our society, like newspapers, magazines, televisions, faxes, posters, billboards, and even the online platforms and tools that we use today, such as the social media platforms or the internet in general. All of those aforementioned materials and tools are considered as media. Combining the concepts of those three components, we have the global media culture. This is defined as the universal integration of media through the multicultural exchange of ideas. Global media includes all forms of mass communication that reach every corner across the globe. The key aspects of cultural globalization are migration, food, sports, and even entertainment. Global media culture refers to the shared beliefs, values, practices, and artifacts that emerge from the use and consumption of media across the world. And one of the key characteristics of global media culture is that its ability to cross national boundaries and reach a global audience. And this has resulted in the emergence of global media giants such as Disney, Netflix, which I think is one of the most popular streaming platforms as of today, and other social media platforms and sites such as Facebook, Messenger, Twitter, Instagram, and many more, who dominate the global media landscape and have made a significant cultural influence to us. So, global media culture is characterized by the penetration of mass media into all aspects of public life, forming a new culture that is contradictory in terms of dialogue between cultures and the existence of national and local cultures. And some of the great examples of global media culture are pop music, fast food chains spreading across the world like McDonald's, Burger King, and even our very own Jollibee has already made different franchises all over the globe. And even films being shown in numerous countries. Those are the result of media globalization. And the importance of global culture is the exposure to different languages, religions, and interactions, which can create connections and show diversity. So, going back to the concept of media, there are various forms of media we have today. It has a wide scope of mass communication and it continues to evolve every generation or every century. And speaking of evolving, there are five periods of evolution of globalization and media. These include oral communication, script, printing press, electronic media, and of course, digital media. The first one is oral communication. And since almost 1.7 million years ago, languages have been developed and evolved gradually into what we have and use nowadays. Early human civilization formed and developed a medium that would set them apart from other species and allow them to cover and conquer the world. And the second one is the script. After oral communication, the form of writing has been developed to allow human beings to communicate and share knowledge and that would last for a longer period of time. And it was first done through wood carving, clay, bronze, copper, bones, and even stones. And writing systems have their own evolution, just like how they started from cave paintings to cuneiform to calligraphies and hieroglyphics. So the third period is the printing press. It was first invented in China during the Tang Dynasty around 4th and 5th century AD. And then it was later on developed by Johannes Gutenberg in Germany with a movable metal type printing press and was introduced to the masses around the year of 1439. And the development of printing press paved the way for reading materials being cheap and the quick and efficient circulation among the people. And the fourth one is the electronic media. It was first introduced in the 19th century, where it refers to the types of communication that require the use of electromagnetic energy or electricity. And some of the great examples of electronic media are telegraph, which was invented by Samuel Morse, telephone, which was invented by Alexander Graham Bell, and so much more like television, film, radio, and cell phones. And to add information, television became the universal mass media upon the invention in 1920. While cell phone devices dominated the world upon their invention in 1973 and still is very evident up until now. And finally, the last period is digital media, which is probably the very common type of media that we use in today's generation. Digital media involves the creation of audio, video, websites, social media, and applications using technology such as the internet and electronics. It might come in the form of videos, articles, advertisement, music, podcast, audiobooks, virtual reality, or digital art. Digital age began to unfold in the second half of the 20th century as computer technology slowly infiltrated different industries and then moved into the public spheres. This period has made people have easier and faster access to information around the globe and adopt various new practices such as in music, sports, education, religion, fashion, the art industry, and other realms of culture. The main function and the most important function of media is its ability to disseminate and news to the masses concerning vital occurrences and important information from every parts of the world. Media is the main instrument of global connectivity. It basically brings the various societies closer together in many different ways. And today, in the modern era, news and information could widely spread everywhere at a faster rate, which is markedly more expeditious than the previous periods in history. With that being said, we can say that our society and culture would not be rich and diverse without the help of the various forms of media. It already became a part of our way of everyday living, and we even becoming dependent in it as time goes by. And just like the other phenomena present in our society, global media culture has its advantages and disadvantages. The advantages of media include that it allows information to be dispersed quickly and that it allows people to learn about cultures other than their own. Other than that, it promotes the concept of multiculturalism and the spread of various trends and fads that we usually see on numerous social media platforms, specifically the apps like TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, and even YouTube. Given that it is accessible to almost all of the people in the world, most people are prone to different negative effects of digital media or the media in general. Disadvantages of the media include that it can result to the spread of misinformation and the development of bad values. Similarly, this also includes the exposure to fake news, mobs and hackers online, and it could also be exploited by politicians, it could be a tool of propaganda, and even manipulate the public opinions. Moreover, cultural imperialism is also a risk to the rising globalization. This is the promoting and imposing a culture, usually a politically powerful nation, over a less powerful society. And cultural imperialism is the term used to describe the influence of mass media on cultural globalization. This term describes how the globalization of cultural aspects of society can be influenced by political ideologies and economic motivations. However, the impact or influence can either be beneficial or harmful. And mentioning the concept of the idea of theory of postmodernism, which gives emphasis to media as central to globalization. The theory suggests that the possible risk of society being fragmented in such a way that there are a lot of perspectives arising from one another. There is a growing diversity and multiplicity of perspectives within the society, and this allows the building of an echo chamber and cyber balkanization. And with the negative and positive effect of global media culture, we can't deny that we are all under its impact, and it will still continue to conquer our everyday lives as it slowly grows and becomes natural to us. And as part of what we call the global village, let's somehow learn to utilize the advantages of global media culture, and let us take it as an advantage to improve our way of living and further our knowledge of the vast scope of cultures around the globe. And moreover, let's also mitigate the consequences and invest on improving our competencies in media and information literacy. So that is the concept and idea of global media culture. So that is all for one of the vital topics of the contemporary world, which is global media culture. So once again, I am Lorraine Molina and a first year English major, and thank you so much for listening.